Nigeria's kidnapping crisis. Who is behind it? And what do they want? A nation living in fear. In Nigeria today, a silent war is unfolding. Men, women, and children are being taken, not just from remote villages, but from highways, schools, farms, and even cities. Some disappear forever. Others return with stories too haunting to repeat. What was once seen as isolated bandit attacks has now transformed into a national crisis. A crisis so widespread, so unpredictable, and so mysterious that even experts cannot agree on who is responsible. Tonight, we explore Nigeria's growing kidnapping epidemic, a deep mystery filled with political secrets, criminal networks, silent motives, and unanswered questions. Nigeria's kidnapping crisis. Who is behind it? And what do they want? How it all began. To understand the present crisis, we must go back. Kidnapping in Nigeria did not begin today. It grew in phases, each more dangerous than the last. In the early 2000s, the Niger Delta militants used kidnapping as a political tool, targeting oil workers to make governments listen. Years later, extremist groups in the north used it to spread fear and control territory. But then a new wave emerged, one that had no political face, no ideology, no demands, just pure chaos. The rise of the unknown kidnappers. Today's kidnappers are different. They strike without warning, without pattern, and often without a clear motive. In some regions, victims say the attackers speak languages from faraway states. In other regions, new groups emerge, groups nobody has heard of before. This raises a disturbing question. Has Nigeria entered a new era where kidnapping has become a decentralized criminal industry? The business of fear. Kidnapping has become one of the most profitable black market industries in West Africa. Ransom payments range from small amounts to tens of millions. But here's the shocking part. Not every kidnapping is about ransom anymore. Some abductors keep victims for reasons unknown. Others release them without explanation. And in some cases, victims are taken even when their families cannot afford any ransom at all. So, if it's not always money, what is truly driving this crisis? Inside the kidnapper's world, investigations reveal a troubling network of actors. Local bandit groups, foreign-speaking militants, rogue security personnel, cross-border gangs, and organized crime cells expanding across regions. In some states, kidnappers operate like mini-governments, controlling forests, collecting taxes from villagers, and enforcing their own laws. With such a complex network, the lines between criminal, militant, and political actors begin to blur. The motives no one understands. There are several theories about the motives behind the surge in kidnappings. Theory 1. Political gain. Some believe that powerful figures may be sponsoring chaos to influence elections, negotiations, or territorial control. Theory 2. Economic collapse. With unemployment and poverty rising, organized crime becomes a survival method for thousands. Theory 3. Foreign involvement. Intelligence reports mention foreign gangs crossing borders into Nigeria's unprotected forests. Theory 4. Pure opportunism. When a crime becomes profitable, it attracts thousands of copycats. But none of these theories explain everything. Victim stories. To truly understand this crisis, we must hear from those who survived it. Across Nigeria, survivors describe long treks through dense forests, nights without food, and the constant fear of not knowing if they will live to see the next day. But one detail appears again and again. Most victims say their captors behave like hired hands, not masterminds, which suggests someone else may be pulling the strings. Where the government fails. Despite billions spent on security, Nigeria's kidnapping crisis continues to worsen. Why? Poor intelligence, under-policing of rural areas, corruption within security forces, lack of aerial surveillance, criminals better armed than local police. In some communities, villagers say the kidnappers know police movements in advance, raising questions about internal collusion. The shadow networks. A shocking possibility is emerging. What if multiple groups, local and foreign, are cooperating? Some kidnappers steal motorcycles. Others transport victims. Others handle negotiations. Others guard forests. This resembles an organized supply chain, a dark economy with many players and one product: human beings. If true, this would explain the scale, speed, and coordination. Can Nigeria fight back? Despite the fear, Nigerians are fighting back. Communities forming vigilante groups. Local governments increasing security forces. Technology being used to track movements. Traditional rulers negotiating safe zones. Youth organizing patrol networks. Drones and trackers being deployed in some states. But the kidnappers continue to evolve. The unanswered question, 28:00, 30:00. Return to emotional visuals. Empty chairs, missing posters. And now, the final question. Who is really behind Nigeria's kidnapping crisis, and what do they want? Are they bandits? Extremists? Politicians? Foreign gangs? Or a hidden mix of all these forces? No one can say for sure. And until the answer is uncovered, the fear will continue. The kidnappings will continue. And millions of Nigerians will remain trapped in uncertainty. This is the untold truth behind Nigeria's kidnapping crisis. A crisis that must be solved. Nigeria's kidnapping crisis is more than a crime wave. It is a national tragedy. Every abduction leaves behind broken families, shattered communities, and unanswered questions. But one thing is clear. Until the real motives are uncovered and those responsible are identified, the fear will continue and the crisis will only grow. This is Nigeria's kidnapping crisis. Who is behind it? And what do they want? Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Nigeria's kidnapping crisis continues to spread fear across the country. Men, women, and children are being abducted from highways, villages, schools, and even cities. Today, we focus not on the mystery of who is behind these attacks, but on what can be done to stay safe and protect our communities. Parents, your vigilance can save lives. Always know the location of your children, at school, during transport, or while playing outside. Encourage them to travel in groups and avoid isolated paths. Share emergency contact numbers and ensure children understand safe ways to respond if approached by strangers. Regularly check with schools or bus operators about security measures. Never assume your child is safe simply because they're in a familiar area. Vigilance is key. Teachers and school administrators, safety protocols must be enforced at all times. Maintain strict student check-in and check-out procedures. Organize safe routes to and from school and educate students about kidnapping risks and emergency responses. Coordinate with parents, local authorities, and security agencies. Regular drills and awareness sessions can make a life-saving difference in times of threat. Communities are on the front lines of this crisis. Organize neighborhood watches and patrols, especially in vulnerable areas. Keep communication lines open with local authorities and other villages. Educate families on how to identify suspicious activity and report it immediately. Use technology, mobile alerts, social media groups, and local radios to warn neighbors quickly. Together, vigilance and coordination reduce opportunities for kidnappers. The government and security agencies must act decisively. Increase patrols in high-risk areas, deploy surveillance technology, and strengthen intelligence networks to anticipate attacks before they happen. Collaboration is essential. Federal, state, and local forces should share information efficiently. Transparent communication with the public about threats and safety measures builds trust and helps communities protect themselves. To everyone else, awareness is your first line of defense. Avoid traveling alone at night, especially in isolated areas. Report suspicious activity immediately. Support community initiatives and participate in local safety programs. Even small actions, staying alert, helping neighbors, sharing information, can save lives. Nigeria's kidnapping crisis is a challenge for every parent, teacher, villager, student, and citizen. While security forces work to stop kidnappers, your actions matter. Together, vigilance, awareness, and coordination can reduce risk and protect lives. Stay informed. Stay alert. Protect each other. And remember, safety begins with awareness, and every small action counts.